So last year, I read 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. This year, I'm going to read That Leedle Boy by James Whitcomb Riley. It was one of my grandfather's favorite poems. As a little Christmas story that I told their little folk, and I want you stop that laughing and cracking funny jokes. So help me, Peter Moses has no time for monkey shines, but I was told you some things of that little boy of mine. It was one cold winter weather, when the snow was all about, that you have to chop their hatchet if you got the sauerkraut. When their chickens on their hind legs was standing in their shine, and the sun smiled out that morning on that little boy of mine. But he was just a little baby, not bigger as a doll. That time I got acquainted, you ought to heard him squall. Aye, crackies, that's the music. That'd make me feel so fine. When first I was been married, that little boy of mine. He looked just like his father. So when the women said, "What a pretty little baby," Katrina shake her head. I think she must have noticed that the baby was a crying when she covered up the blankets of that little boy of mine. Well, when he was got bigger, that he crawl and bump his nose, when he make the table over and molasses on his clothes, then make him all the sweeter. So I say to my Katrine, better you was quit a spanking that little boy of mine. And no more he was older, as about a dozen months, he speak their English language and their German both at once. And he drink his glass of lager like a landsman from the Rhine, and I clink my glass together with that little boy of mine. I wish you could have seen it when he climb up on their chair, and he smashed their looking glasses when he tried to comb his hair, mit a hammer, and Katrina say, "That's an ugly sign," but I laugh and wink my fingers at that little boy of mine. But once that winter morning, he slip out in their snow, without no stockings on him. He say he want to go and fly some mit the birdies, and we give him medicine when he catch the paregoric, that little boy of mine. And so I sat and nurse him while the Christmas was come round. And I told him about Kris Kringle, how he come their chimbley down. And I asked him if he love him, if he bring him something fine. Nicht besser as mein Vater, said that little boy of mine. When he put his arms around me and he hugged so close and tight, and I hear the clock a-ticking, all their balance of the night. And something make me feel so funny when I say to my Katrine, let us go and fill their stockings of that little boy of mine. Well, we buy the little horses that you pull him with the string, and a little fancy jaybird. If you want to hear him sing, you just took him by their top knot and you just blow in behind, and that make much spectacle for that little boy of mine. And candies, nuts, and raisins, and I buy a little drum that I want to hear him rattle when the Christmas morning come. And a little small tin rooster that would crow so loud and fine when he squeeze him in their morning, that little boy of mine. And while we was a-fixin', that little boy wake out. I thought he was a-dreamin' and Kris Kringle was about. For he say, "That's him. I see him, with the stars that make the shine." And he just keep on a-gryin', that little boy of mine. And he got in verse and verser, and he tumble on their bed. So when the doctor seen it, he kind of shake his head, and he feel his pulse and whisper, "Their boy is a-dying." You think I could believe it? That little boy of mine? I told you, friends, that's something. The last time that he speak, and he say, Goodbye, Kris Kringle. That make me feel so weak. I just kneel down and tremble and burst out a crying, mein Gott, in Himmel, the little boy of mine. The sun don't shine that Christmas. If that little boy would lived, no different, for heaven was his little Christmas gift. Und der Rooster und der Candy und me and my Katrine und der Jaybird is a-waiting for that little boy of mine. Merry Christmas to each and every single one of you. Merry Christmas.